Welcome to Hochoka Podcast.
Leadership is a role performed uniquely by the person who holds the role. At St. Joseph's Indian School, we're experiencing a transition in leadership that brings a new title and a new face. Let's get to know this person. Hello, Medakiepi, and welcome to Hochoka here at the center of St. Joseph's Indian School's campus. I'm Scott Wooster, your Hochoka host. Today we're talking with Jennifer Renner-Meyer, recently appointed Chief Executive Officer of St. Joseph's Indian School. You may remember her from previous podcasts. Today she joins us as a familiar face who we'd like to get to know better. Welcome, Jen.
Thank you, Scott. I'm happy to be here. I've been at St. Joseph's for quite a while now, and so I step into this new role with both excitement and humbleness.
Yeah.
Excited
Awesome.
For what comes.
So we've known each other a long time, but for our audience who doesn't know you as well, let's play rapid fire. We do that sometimes.
All right.
Okay. So I'm going to hit you with a prompt. You've been a counselor. We do prompts all the time trying to get from our clients. This is less in depth than that maybe, but just give me a quick answer to each of these. Your favorite food?
Mexican food.
Okay. Best music?
Anything I can sing along to, especially when nobody's around.
Okay. But probably Jack Straw, Dave's
Sure,
old band
100%.
with me. Your husband's old band with me. When you were younger, you...
I read a lot of books.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Read a lot of books?
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Failure is?
Part of growth.
Okay. Success is?
Living with purpose and meaning.
Okay. Secret indulgence that you have?
Not many people know this, maybe, but
About to.
I know. Diet Mountain Dew in the bottle. Never can.
Huh.
Don't judge me. Yeah.
Might have to come back to that one. Okay. Best way to unwind?
With my family.
Yeah. Best advice you ever received?
You know, when things feel daunting and overwhelming, just take the next step.
Best advice you ever gave to somebody?
Many versions of Maya Angelou's quote of do the best you know how to do, and then when you know better, do better.
Okay. Who's a leader who inspires you?
Anyone who leads with compassion, humor, and brings people together to do more than they could alone.
Yep. Got an example of a leader that you've been inspired by?
You know, there's so many leaders.
Yeah.
I can't pick one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said you read a lot as a child and probably as an adult too. You have a favorite book?
No, that's like asking me to pick my favorite child.
Okay. Or your favorite leader? Or yeah.
Sure.
Okay. If you could be any place, it would be?
Near the water, preferably with my toes in the sand and whatever I'm currently reading.
Okay. Being at St. Joe's is?
Oh, my life's work. Purposeful.
Yep.
Yeah, meaningful, heart-filled.
Yep. Okay, so now we'll go a little deeper.
Okay.
Want to hear a little bit about what your youth was like. What were some of your influences? What was it like growing up for you?
Well, my parents, my family modeled hard work, ethics, integrity. You know, I grew up here in Chamberlain in a small town, and so you showed up for your neighbor, you kept your word, you know, you always reached out to help, and so that really, really helped me develop into the person that I am today and my view on leadership. So.
And you grew up with... As I know them, hardworking family, very loving family.
Absolutely.
Came to know them when they were running a store downtown that was well known in town, and I'm sure there's far more that they've done. And they, in fact, at retirement age, your folks came out here to work at the school.
Yes, to work as house parents. So, I mean, it's part of what they do, and I've learned from them. And, you know, your question about best advice I've received, I don't know how my dad would feel about me sharing this, but another one that you can't get out of your head is he used to say to us as kids, don't be a wienerhead.
Okay.
And what that meant to him and to us was think before you act.
Yeah.
And don't make dumb choices.
Yeah.
And it's a little unconventional, but
Yeah.
it's memorable
Yeah.
and oddly effective.
Yeah, and it worked. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So,
What was your goal when you were a kid? I mean, what did you want to be when you grew up? Did you sit on top? Well, I don't know where your family lived when you were
Yeah.
young, but did you look at St. Joe's and say, I'm going to be the CEO of St. Joe's at some point? That never crossed your mind, I'm sure.
no,
But
it
what-
didn't. I wanted to be a psychologist. So
Okay.
that was kind of, as a kid, for some reason, I had that in my head.
Yeah.
And I think through all of my formative experiences, growing up and being parts of different team sports and activities, and I was part of 4-H, and all of those things, I always wanted to try things. I always wanted to do it. I wanted to be part of those things. And often what I know now looking back is my role often ended up being a support in, student manager,
Okay.
student director,
Yep.
different things and ways where I could help bring something to fruition and work with people.
Yep.
And so I think that really that theme is how could I help?
So I look at myself, I was probably the least likely person to become a counselor when they got older. I just kind of fell into it, and it became, for me, part of my identity. For you kind of knew that that's sort of the direction that you wanted to go in. What was your educational path? And how did that circle around and bring you back here?
So I went to college for psychology, thinking that's what I wanted. And what I ended up doing was taking classes that were interesting to me. And so I took the psychology, but I took a lot of sociology classes. I started taking drug and alcohol abuse studies. And so what that meant is just how can I help and how can I understand and how can I know more?
Yeah.
And after graduation, my husband and I moved to Colorado for several years, worked with families who were court-ordered to go through therapy. And so did in-home family therapy in the Denver area and learned a lot from that experience, and then moved to California and worked with foster families and adoption.
Yeah.
And so all of that is about helping and support kids and families. I mean, that's where that comes to. And when we came back to Chamberlain and applied at St. Joseph's, and you interviewed me, Scott, so you're responsible for this.
Yeah, I love that.
I think that's what it comes down to. Again, how can I help? And throughout the years, people have seen more in me than I've seen in myself, and I've been able to enter into leadership roles and be a part of that.
How did you end up back here?
So Dave's dad, my husband's dad, worked here as a photographer, and he regularly would send us applications for St. Joseph's. And I'm sure Human Resources wasn't very thrilled with us because we would receive those applications, think, we're happy where we are, and we'd dispose of them. And so then they'd send more because he would ask them to, and we'd say, things are good, and but what ended up happening was our daughter was getting close to school age, and we were living in California at the time, and so that was on our mind. And my husband's mom was sick, and so we wanted to come back and be near family, and so we received an application and thought, why not?
And so,
why not? And so we applied, we came, and thinking it would be short term. We always thought we would go back to Colorado was our plan. And once we were here, why leave?
Right.
I mean, this is so many wonderful things here, and it's such an awesome place. We do great things for kids and families, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. Same. You're around your own family, and St. Joe's is a family too, so you get that piece. You went from being a counselor with me and in a great department that we have. Left that to direct us or go into the
residential coordinator for high school programs. I got to work really closely with house parents and the kids, and in that way. And so, and then director of the 7th through 12th grade program, director of counseling services, and executive director of child services, and CEO.
Lots of different hats. I want to talk a little more about your leadership role.
Okay.
And you said I have a tough time picking one person that was my example of being a leader. There were several that helped me get to where I am now. How would you define leadership, and what inspires you, or something, even if it's not someone, what inspires you to leadership?
To me, leadership is about compassion, having a sense of humor, and, just showing up and being part of what's happening and looking to the future. And you and I both know that being a leader is not about having a title.
Right,
So
absolutely.
people in every role, in every way, are leaders. And, I think, and I don't know if you'll remember this or not, but when I was a closer part of the high school program, we had a young boy, a young man who showed his emotions through punching holes in the wall. And so we'd gone through that several times with him and continued to work on that. And ultimately, it happened again, and we decided that part of his restitution would be to help fix those holes. And so worked with our maintenance department, our facilities guys, and said, hey, this is what we'd like to do. Who can help? And one of those facilities guys stepped up and said, I'll help. I'll teach him. And the purpose behind that was teach him as a father would, teach him as a grandfather would, right? Role model that. And so they did. They fixed those holes. They looked great.
Right.
And they got it done. That student got checked out, went home to Grandma's house where he stayed. And when he came back, he was more than proud to tell us that he had fixed every hole in her house.
Nice.
And he had been part of making some of those holes.
Yeah.
He never made a hole in a wall again.
Yeah.
I mean, he learned how to do it. But, to me, that's leadership.
Yeah.
So you have that maintenance guy that was willing to step up and say, this isn't part of my normal job. This isn't part of my duties. I wasn't hired to do this, but I'll do it.
Yep.
And poured something into this child that needed it.
Yeah.
And then he took that new skill and he learned it and he benefited his family.
Yeah.
And that's what leadership is.
Yeah. I see you as an even keel, right? So you've always been sort of that way where I don't know what you feel inside, but you always keep that even keel. And I think that it's important for people to see that you're not getting shook in the middle of that.
Yeah, I think that steadiness is part of it, right? And again, it's not about me having the answers. It's about me listening and asking the right questions, and then we figure it out together.
Right.
So that's what it comes down to.
If you had a crystal ball, you could see into the future for St. Joe's. 50 years from now.
Okay.
It's a ways down the road.
Yes.
You won't be here. I won't be here.
Yeah.
I don't think. What would you do now? What's the vision, and what would you do now to help create that vision with staff?
Sure. I think, in 50 years, I see us still living the heart of our mission. That's what St. Joseph's does. It's what we're about. I don't see that changing. But I do see us finding new ways to reach out to students and families. And I see us being known nationally, not for what we do, but how we do it. How we do that with faith and culture, and we have the education, and we have the healing. We have all of those things here, and our staff bring that together for students and families. And we have our supporters and our donors, and they're all part of that. We can't, none of us can do it alone.
Yeah.
And I would say everything we do today plants seeds for that future.
Yeah. So this is kind of a new thing for St. Joe's. You're the CEO, is what you're calling. Not you are calling the role, but that's what the role is. Tell me a little bit about the role and the scope of that role, what it means for you, what it means for us. And
yes. Well, as St. Joseph's has grown over the last almost 100 years, and as we look to the future, what has happened is we've taken that role of president and CEO and separated them.
Okay.
And so our president, Father Greg, is responsible for the spiritual formation, for bringing the Dehonian charism tourism, making sure that's ever present on campus,
Yep.
as well as working with donors and donor luncheons and visiting donors and really cultivating those relationships. Whereas my role is focused on the activities on campus, the work that we do here now and in the future, and also our apostolates. And so making in South Dakota. So
Okay.
making sure that we are working closely with Sacred Heart Center in Eagle Butte.
Okay.
And Father Greg and I work closely with the ministries in Laura Brule and Fort Thompson. And it will also be working with the province and making sure that we're living out the vision that they have for us as well.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll have an opportunity to touch a lot of people through this
Yes.
role, I would think. You know, it's not just here on our campus, but
Sure.
yeah, that's great. And it's not really what we do here on campus in the state with the SCJs in Milwaukee, but it even reaches farther than that, and you'll see that in your role.
Absolutely. Between the supporters that we have all over the nation and around the world, that's a huge part of what we do. But we also have partnerships with a number of national organizations and our National Alliance for Catholic Education, the American Indian Boarding Schools Coalition. We're part of these things. Notre Dame, the Coalition on Residential Excellence. You know, we learn from those organizations, those groups, those cohorts, but we're also able to share our knowledge and be a part of that and help shape what goes into the future. So, you know, once you get all the best ideas in the room, right, and that thinking, everybody working on similar issues, we can grow together in that way.
Yep. And partnering in that way, things can only get better for kids, gaining knowledge and doing things in the right way. 20 years ago, you came here in 2005? 4. I interviewed you.
Yes.
I don't remember it. Isn't that crazy? But,
so memorable.
But obviously, I recommended you, and you got the job, and it was a good recommendation. I wasn't the only one that interviewed you, I'm sure, and it went through a hiring board. But it's obvious that the hiring board made a good decision, and that you made the right decision, too, to end up back in here. There's some serendipity in that you end up here with family and where you are now. I look forward to working for you as the CEO, and we'll see what the future holds for us. I think it's bright.
Thank you, Scott. I'm honored to be part of this moment in St. Joseph's history.
Absolutely, I'm sure you are. And so we thank you for being here in Hochoka to explain it to our audience and to give some of that to them.
Thank you.
And to our audience, we thank you for joining us here at Hochoka at the center of St. Joseph's Indian School, where we talk about issues that are central to Native American education. Until next time, stay centered.